Hi guys, Lindsay
And Tracy.
here with Storybook Family Farm. So today I actually wanted to talk to you guys about kind of a touchy subject actually, and that is the realities of what our life is right now of homesteading while living in a major fixer-upper. So do you want to, since you've been back to work now, what is it like for you homesteading while having a fixer-upper while also working full-time now?
There's days I feel like I need 6 more hours added in.
Yeah.
Um, just so I can get the basic stuff done.
Yeah. Yeah, like today we had to run errands, which was, going to Menards and also doing a bit of a Walmart run. We don't have an affordable grocery store anywhere near where we live. Everything is basically price gouging because there's not an affordable grocery store anywhere near here. So everything is kind of actually like double the cost of what it would be just by going to a Giant Eagle that's, 30 minutes away.
And the closest Menards is about a 45-minute drive from here.
Yeah, so right down the street from the Menards that we go to, there's actually a Walmart there. So we went there and bought some stuff, and we didn't even have like a whole cart full. It was almost $100, and I was like, oh my god! Like I remember when close to $100, and your cart was overflowing to the point that you almost had to have two carts and stuff. And now it's like, okay, we got like 12 items for like $100. So I'm very grateful that we do homestead so that way we can actually afford to eat. Because that is, becoming a very, very pricey endeavor is to be able to buy food in the way of the current world. But
Yep.
for us, granted, we don't have a mortgage right now because we've made crazy, crazy, crazy life decisions to make it so it could become debt free.
We do have a car payment though.
Yes, so we are almost completely debt free, but we do have a car payment simply because my car died in the driveway of this property right after we bought it. Like a week after we spent our entire life savings to buy this fixer upper, my car broke down in the driveway. Like all four brake lines burst at the same exact time. And we did not have the time or the energy or the money to fix the car. So we had to just get rid of it and, get something with a payment because at that point in time, our son Willie did not have his driver's license yet. And he was going to school about a half an hour from here, and I had to drive him back and forth.
Because I still had to work, and where I was working at that time, I had to be at work way before anybody else had to be anywhere.
Yeah. So it's been very difficult because basically we took a crazy leap of faith to live in a camper and do a bunch of ridiculous things and live in very difficult life situations. So we didn't have a mortgage, but now we essentially have a car payment that is close to what our mortgage payment was when we lived in town. So it's not really that great of a trade off.
Except the car will be paid off in a lot less time than a mortgage.
Yeah, which is a huge blessing. But so we are actually looking into ways to refinance the car because since we had lived for debt free, being extremely frugal and very debt free for, almost an entire year while we lived in a camper on Tracy's mom and dad's property, our credit definitely took a big ding because we weren't having any utilities in my name or in Tracy's name. We didn't have internet in either of our names. We didn't have nothing.
The only thing we were paying monthly that we actually had a bill for was our cell phone and our car insurance.
And Netflix.
Yes, Netflix
Yeah.
and Discovery Plus, but that stuff was
Yeah.
all direct withdrawal, and just so you know, a cell phone bill doesn't really build your credit.
Yeah, so pretty much it was kind of like, oh, we're doing all these great things that we felt called to do, and they pretty much kind of screwed us over at the same exact time, simply because of the fact that in the way that this society and this world is ran is if you don't have debt, you're kind of viewed as being a very suspicious type of person. So in terms of lenders, we were viewed as being very suspicious. So that has definitely hindered us because we are spending a lot of money every month just to have another vehicle, which is incredibly frustrating because we have made a lot of sacrifices to get it so that we don't have any sort of like actual debt. Um, so that's been a very frustrating piece of this puzzle, and like it's also been very difficult too because of the fact that like our house needs so much work. Like,
Yeah.
by the time I get finished with this level of project, literally every single aspect of this house will have been touched by me, except for like inside of a lot of the walls.
And the
Um,
plumbing.
well, the plumbing was touched by you, so but like all I have the house pretty much I would guess probably 60% of the way rewired. Um, with new breakers and new wiring and new outlets and all of that fun jazz. I've done a lot with that. In this wintertime, I do plan on doing a lot more of that.
Currently, our whole upstairs is the outlets are all newer wiring, so they are functional.
Yeah,
The lights, on the other hand,
are non existent.
yes, because of the fact that we had two breakers working the same lights, and that should not happen.
Yeah, yeah, things were kind of jumping and skipping and hopping over other things that were in the breaker panel. So I shut all of it off until I had time to reconfigure things. And like in our room here, there's actually not a light, anyways. There's just wires hanging out of the ceiling. So like obviously needs done. Um, but so it's been it's been really rough because like the life of homesteading, especially at the level that in which we homestead, like we have goats, so we have milk, so we have a dairy production going on. Will you stop moving your leg? You're driving me crazy, woman. You keep moving your leg, and my leg is holding up the camera, so the whole thing keeps moving. But so we have like an entire like legitimate like homestead going on. So we have chickens for eggs, we have rabbits for meat, we have ducks for meat and eggs, which we just processed some more ducks today. We have the geese, which those will end up being for meat production. We have turkeys for meat production and for eggs. We also have chickens for meat and eggs. We have quail for meat and eggs. Um, and the goats are for milk, and also to then sell off baby goats. So then that way we can try to recoup some of the money from that. At some point we might eat extra goats. I don't know. Probably be better off just for us just to sell them because of the fact that we'd have to raise them for a year for them to be worth butchering. But um, so we're managing all of that plus an extensive size of garden, which at this time of the year, like we don't have much garden going on and stuff because it is December and it's kind of wintertime. But like homesteading in itself requires a massive amount of work and energy and time. And then this house is also just nothing but a ginormous energy and time suck. Like, and most of the brunt of the renovations have completely fallen on my shoulders. Um, and like Tracy's now gone back to work. So like over the summertime, Tracy was home and stuff, so she was able to help more with different projects and that sort of a thing. And now she's like not able to help at all. So it's been
I can help on the weekends.
yeah, but
Because now it gets dark at like a quarter after 5.
yeah,
I don't get home from work till like 20 after 3.
yeah,
So we have less than 2 hours
yeah,
of daylight.
yeah, to put the animals to bed and to catch up on things and just to try to like live life and stuff because we pretty much our sleep schedule is very similar to like that of the sun. So like when the sun goes down, we automatically are like, okay, let's get ready to go to bed because it's dark out. Like we should go to bed and stuff. So it definitely makes trying to do this lifestyle, um, because like when we still lived in town, like this lifestyle, it took a lot out of me. Like Tracy worked full time; she worked more hours than she does now, and our house was not a fixer-upper, and it took a lot of my energy and a lot of my time to take care of the chickens, rabbits, and quail that we had, and the garden, and with preserving food and all of that stuff, and like to then now also have this constant never ending project of the house and the yard all on my shoulders, like it's insane. um I had a friend not that long ago actually talk about how she was going to try to follow a similar path to us, and I was like begging and pleading for her not to do this and stuff because it is just it is so intense that it's not even fun anymore. Like, and I am the type of person, I love to have projects, and it is just, it's no longer enjoyable.
Because our project list is like this long.
Yeah. It just keeps growing.
So you cross one thing off and six more get added on the other end
Yeah.
because you realize, oh, I got this done. Well, now, oh, well, this needs fixed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like in a previous video how I showed you guys all the stuff that I'd gotten weed whacked, only to discover that the grape arbor, it, like, all of them,
Are broke.
they're all broke. They're all falling apart. They all need, like, completely redone, reconfigured, renovated, fixed, the whole kit and caboodle. Like, that has been the experience of literally everything with this house. And it is just absolutely, like, it's insane. Like, I don't even know how to, like, explain the fact that, like, everything that I'm doing, it feels like as I start one project, then it opens up five more projects and stuff. Like, it is not, at first glance, it is not anything that I had thought that it would be. Um, like, it's just way more difficult than I thought, because, like, I had already figured out how to keep the wheels going and the gears spinning and all that stuff of, the whole homestead thing. Um, and I know how much time that takes and how much energy that takes. But then to add on the constant never ending project list of this house, like, it's very hard. And, like, a lot of people keep telling me, like, you should take a break, you should take some time off. But, like, no one's understanding the fact that, like, when your house is needing this much work, and, like, you work from home, and everywhere you turn is more work that you have to do, it's not relaxing to sit around and stare at all the uncompleted projects and all the things that you have to do and stuff. Like, I don't know, it's difficult. And it definitely weighs on me physically and emotionally too, to try to keep, like, getting as much stuff accomplished as I am, only to basically uncover more stuff that needs done. It's just, it's rough. Do you have any more that you want to add?
I don't think so.
Okay. Tracy's a woman of few words, especially when the camera's on record. Normally, if you guys know Tracy in real life, she talks significantly more than I do. But you shove a camera in her face and she gets awfully quiet and fidgety. Hence why I told her to stop moving her leg, because it was like flailing around
My foot
up
itched.
against. That's fine that you're footage, but, like, geez, oh Pete, woman, you're like, let me flail around and stuff, like, constantly. You're driving me crazy. But yeah, so it's been very tough. Um, and especially too with, like, the holidays coming up and stuff like that, because, like, we used to always host all of the holidays at our place. And last year, because we lived in a camper, there was no hosting anything. Like, there was barely enough space for, like, the three of us to, like, cope.
Eat a meal together.
Yeah, it was very difficult. So last year we couldn't host anything. And, like, this year too with the holidays, like, we can't host anything because the house is nowhere near done enough. Like, we'll have our daughter come over and stuff for Christmas, but, like, beyond that, like, we're not having people over. We're not doing anything fancy. We're not doing anything big at all. Like, our living room is in shambles, but we still put a tree up, so that was kind of nice.
That's right.
Because we couldn't have one last year. But, like, it's just, it's really, really trying mentally to just keep living like this and to try to have the resolve to just keep going, that eventually it'll get done and stuff. Like, it's just, it's really stinking frustrating to, like, there's literally not a place that is done and stuff. Like, I worked on painting the stairway and everything to come upstairs, and it looks so much better, but it's not finished yet. So, like, my brain just keeps noticing, like, the unfinished parts of it, so it makes it much more
And
difficult.
part of the part that where she needs to work on, she can't do it if nobody else is home, because she
Yeah.
has to be on a ladder to reach it.
Yeah, and putting a ladder on steps is not, like, the safest.
So it has to be done when somebody else can be home.
Yeah, and the extension ladder that we borrowed is actually kind of too long to fit into the house, so we're gonna have to actually like shimmy it up through a window into the upstairs part to then shove it downstairs. It's crazy. It's like some serious Three Stooges stuff that we're gonna have to do, and I'm gonna have to build a jig too to make it so there's like a platform on the steps and stuff too, so I can use a ladder more safely there to do trim painting. But it's it's really hard, um, like what we've taken on and stuff. Like I don't necessarily feel like we've bitten off more than we can chew, but I can tell you this right now, like my jaw is very tired of chewing and stuff. Like I am absolutely exhausted from chewing this project and trying to just get through it. And it just like some projects and stuff they will feel like they just flow. Like everything just like almost like the wind's behind your sails and it's just pushing you along and you can just get through and go through everything seamlessly without a problem and stuff. But everything here, it feels like the wind is blowing against us and that everything that can go wrong has been going wrong. And it's just like everything has become more difficult for an unknown reason.
Everything time, like I said, every time we cross one thing off the to-do list, three more things get added to the other end.
Yeah, and it's really tiring. Like I'm really getting tired of this project and stuff because it's been pretty much nonstop since we got the place and stuff. And it's been for the majority of it has been pretty much all me working. And like that's not any fault to Tracy. Like we have to have money. Like this project does not work without an income and stuff. Like
If you've ever had to buy building supplies or feed for animals, you know somebody has to be working somewhere to
yeah.
get money brought in.
Yeah, the whole romanticization of like, oh, let's just start homesteading because we won't need any money. Like that's
You actually probably need more money.
yeah, like we spend more now in food when you break it down, like including the animal feed and all of that stuff, probably than what we did like before we started homesteading and we were buying all of our own food.
And had three kids living with us.
Yeah, like granted our food now is much higher quality, but like there's a pretty big cost to it, especially if you factor in our time and stuff to raise the food, to grow the food, and all of that stuff. If you factor in our time and try to pay us, even if you just pay us like a menial salary of like $10 an hour, for skilled labor, like which is really super cheap and stuff, like it's the most expensive food we could have ever purchased. And we still have to work for it. Like we have to spend hours working for it and we have to pay for part of it too. So it's kind of a crazy lifestyle trap that we've fallen into, I suppose. Um, but yeah, I can't think of anything productive to add to this conversation. Can you?
No.
All right, so we're at the end of telling you guys basically the skinny of what it's like to homestead while doing a major fixer upper and being low income and trying to keep yourself as debt free as possible. So if you're thinking about trying to follow a similar path to us, I strongly encourage you not to. Like, and I am not a Debbie Downer at all. Like, I always am trying to encourage people to do like follow their heart and like do these crazy plans and take big leaps of faith. But guys, honestly, like we're 8 months into this homestead project and this renovation project and stuff, and like I have a pretty well cleared schedule for the winter time, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get the interior of the house done by the time winter is over and stuff because it's just like compounding on top of each other, like one thing after another thing after another thing. And like as we were saying earlier, like as soon as you start one thing, you realize that there's like 10 other things that one thing just opened up.
And like our living room is a huge project because we have to redo the walls and the ceiling, and which means there has to be at least two of us here to hang drywall.
Yeah, especially for hanging on the ceiling because there's like 9.5 foot ceilings in this house, so it's a lot. And like I said, funds are very short. Like even though it's only at Menards, it's like $12 a sheet for drywall. We do need to have, I think, what did you calculate? Like 6 sheets to do the ceiling.
6 for the ceiling.
Yeah, and I don't know how many for the walls
I
that
didn't
we'll need.
calculate that.
But that's quite a bit of drywall that we're gonna have to purchase and then go get and then bring here and then find a place to store it until we are ready to do the project. So we probably aren't gonna buy it until like the weekend that we're gonna actually hang it. Probably try to get all the prep work done, but that's a lot of money and stuff. Like we priced out a shower surround today at Menards, and it was,
It was about $300.
yeah, the cheapest one we found was $309 or something like that. But if you guys aren't familiar with Menards, through the month of December, they do not have their 11% rebate going on. So we aren't going to purchase a shower surround until the rebate is going back on again. So then that way we can get money back from the purchase. So then that way we can then further use that rebate, that refund, to then buy more stuff from Menards. So that's one of the greatest things about Menards is that they do like a reward basically for spending money there. Um, so we've gotten quite a lot of money back in projects and stuff just from shopping smartly when they have their rebate thing going on. But yeah, so all of our projects are pretty much halted until they go back.
January.
Yeah, until January when they go back to having the rebates and stuff. Because then we're gonna work on getting our new tub put in and getting a new surround put in and doing all these other things that cost money, that we have to save for. But then if we can get the rebate for it and stuff, then that's a free gallon of paint, or a free couple sheets of drywall. Or you guys get the picture. You can do math better than I can probably. Not a math whiz here, but Tracy is. But so yeah. We're going to end this here so we can actually get ready to go to bed, because we have a lot of stuff to get done tomorrow, because that's kind of how every single day is. There's not really a day off with this lifestyle with homesteading, or especially when you also are working on renovating a house. So tomorrow we'll actually probably work on lifting up the house jacks a little bit further to try to make it so that way the floor in the living room is more level, so then the walls are more level, and the ceiling is more level, so then that way we are one step closer to being able to put drywall up. So it's just, like I said, when you try to do one project, it ends up opening up multiple other projects. So it's kind of a frustrating, tiring, and exhausting endeavor that we've, set sail on here. So anything else that you want to? Okay. All right, so that's it for tonight. If you guys are enjoying our content, please give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends on social media. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to help us grow. We greatly appreciate it. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.